Hi cuties, my name is Victoria Lowy. Welcome back to my channel. I did a little something different for this craft video. For this one, I teamed up with my friend Delia and let her show me how to make this really cool original Christmas craft that she had come up with. And trust me, I needed a lot of her help throughout the steps. It's a beautiful and quite simple when it's done, but complicated until you understand the steps kind of craft. So this adventure begins at Delia's house and takes us through a tour of her creative mind. Let's start with what we're going to need. A small canvas, a piece of glass, and a glass cutter. Delia handled this for us. We will need some acrylic paints. I'm using dark blue, black, and white. We need a glue gun, wire cutters, super glue, these fancy dotting tools. If you don't have these, I suppose a toothpick would work as well, and any Christmas leftovers to use as decoration. Alright, a few steps that Delia has already taken care of for us is pulling the canvas off of the frame that it comes on and using one of these wood dyeing markers. She used walnut, I believe, coloring all over the frame of that canvas, and then she came back over that frame once it dried a bit with some sandpaper to kind of give it that aged look. Delia has also already handled the cutting of the glass piece to fit inside our frame for us. Thank you for that. You know I was scared of that cutter. So she had me start here by placing the glass in the back of the frame. We want it to line up as flushly as it can with the back edges of the frame. Next, from the back side of the glass, we are going to super glue the top and the bottom of the glass to the frame the best we can. While I wait for that super glue to dry a little bit, we are taking the black paint and this little wooden Christmas tree we had in our leftovers, and I'm painting the entire thing black so I can get that set to the side and get it drying while we move on to the next. Now we go back to the frame, but with our hot glue gun this time, and we do all 4 edges from the back of the glass. As she pointed out to me, there are places where the glass doesn't perfectly line up with the frame itself, and that's no big deal at all. We're going to be covering it up with paint. Just try and fill it in with the hot glue the best you can. Moving on with our white paint and a paintbrush that you do not care about very much. I say pick one you don't care about very much because you are going to be dabbing and smashing the tip of it, which messes up bristles of brushes you care about. You're going to be smashing it all along the edges of the front of the glass. I am trying to make sure I emphasize to you what you do on the front versus what you do on the back of this glass, because we do hop back and forth a bit. So we are painting the white on the front. We did all the gluing on the back. And you're just going to go all the way around. The important thing I needed to keep in mind was to try not to make the snow too even of a frame all the way around. You kind of want it, wispy and whimsical. And while we let that dry, we grab our now dry little Christmas tree and kind of put a little bit of snow speckles all over that with a little bit of the leftover white paint. For this step, Delia did tell me to just go ahead and get a little bit creative, do what I felt like doing. So I went through her Christmas leftover things and used the wire cutters to cut some little Christmas snippets to fit inside the frame. And from there, you just start hot gluing them in place. As I'm looking back on all these clips, she really did tell me to get creative, and I really went ahead and just copied her exact pattern pretty much. It's the exact same thing she put on hers. I just put some of my little fake berries in different places. So creative. Just go ahead and experiment with the placement of everything that you want on there before you hot glue, just because it's easier than trying to take the hot glue off. And I kind of just like to move things around before I commit because I want to see what looks best. And this is where we are at so far. On to the next step. Now we're going to get that dark blue paint out. And we are going to cover the entire back of the glass in the dark blue paint. You can do as many layers of this as you want. I just did one really thick layer. I believe Delia said she did 3 or 4 on hers. It's artist's choice. Okay, I was wrong. I just texted her. She said she did 2 layers of the paint all the way across the back of the glass. And then a third was just kind of like a spot touch-up layer. But again, like I said, it is artist choice. Victoria, that's starting to look like a second coat there. So I guess I did do 2 coats in the end, but I definitely did not take the time to let the paint dry in between the coats. And after completing that step, this is what we are working with. I like what I'm seeing so far. It's really starting to come together. Looks really cool up to the light too. It was starting to give us ideas on future projects like this. What I am doing here is I have taken the back end of the paintbrush and I am just etching away at the blue paint after it is dried on the back side of the glass. There is no right or wrong shape to do here. I was just trying to get a little bit of a mountain peak vibe to it. From there, we take some of that dark blue mixed with some of the white paint to give us a lighter blue and white kind of flowy, snowy effect on the front. And you just go ahead and mash that around. Don't really mix those colors in or anything. I kind of wanted it to be blotchy on the other side. And you just plug it in everywhere you just scraped off the paint. And all this again is applied to the back side of the glass. I checked the front of the project a few times just to make sure I didn't miss anywhere I had scraped off the paint. And here it is after that last step. It's really starting to come together. I'm really starting to feel the winter wonderland come out. After I let that last step dry a little bit, I started working on the front of the glass again. And using those special dotting tools, I went ahead and made a few larger snowflake dots at random sporadic places on the front. Then I took the smaller dotting tool and kind of added a couple smaller, more whimsical snowflakes across the front of the glass as well. So here we have it, folks. Here is my teacher's model that I was doing the best I could to follow. And here is my version of the project. Thank you, Delia, for the time and the effort, the location, the idea, and all the tools necessary for this. Thank you for your patience with me on this project. I'm sure this won't be our last crafting video together. And for everyone else, thank you for watching. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope you stop to like my video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please now do so. And comment below. Merry Christmas to one and all.